Hi guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Oluchi. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how you can make this Vicky James viral top. This top is super chic and classy, very good for your corporate outings and events, just it's a corporate wear. So I also made two trousers to pair with it. I could pair with the black and the pink, but our major concentration is going to be on how to make this top. You can decide to add the button or not. So let's get right into it. So here is my pattern paper and every tool that I've been needing for this tutorial. So I have my pattern master, of course. I have my curve, I have my fabric. I have two fabrics here, the pink and the black fabric, and they are both crepe fabrics and they are thick. You would need a thick fabric because you really want that firmness, regardless of the fact that you're going to be adding an interfacing, like an interlining to it. Okay, any fabric of your choice, it mustn't be crepe. So for me, I believe that everybody should already know how to draft a bodice. Just in case you are not very familiar with just drafting a bodice, link I'm going to put a link in the description box on how you can draft your basic bodies and also proceed to drafting your princess dart, because I actually use the princess dart for this. So I've marked my shoulder, I've marked my armhole, and I've created that L shape. I'm going ahead to mark my bust point, my under bust, because I actually need it since I used a princess dart for this, and the length of my top. You might want to consider not making this top too length, but I think it's a choice thing anyways. From the picture of Vicky James, I don't think you need to really make this too long. So I'm going ahead to mark those lines. And after I was done doing that, next I went ahead to mark an extra 6 inches. Now, this 6 inches, if you noticed from that top, is the 16 is the part that is extending from the right side of the top. There's a part that is extending longer than the rest, so that's the line there, 6 inches. I also need to mention at this point that you have to make sure that you're putting your fabric on fold. This is not a situation where you have the choice to leave your pattern paper single. It has to be on fold. So the neckline that I worked with is a 3x3 neckline according to the picture that we are working with. But then, like I always say, is a choice thing. So you can decide that you don't want to use a 3x3 neckline, and you can just use, probably just be creative and do anything. Okay, so if you do not know how to already draft a basic bodice, please, you might want to use the link that I'm going to be pairing to this in the description box and go and watch my video, a detailed video on how to draft your basic bodice and a detailed video on how to draft your princess dart, because that's what I used here. I used the modified princess dart for this. So here I've inserted all of my measurements and I'm going to go ahead to mark out my darts, right? So my dart is my bust span divided by 2, and I'm going ahead to take that all the way straight down to the length. So here I'm opening up by 1 inch on each of the sides, and on the half length I'm doing the same thing, 1 inch. But on the hip area, that's the length, I just opened up by half inch, and I'm connecting all that line together. Then I'm using my curve to connect everything to my bust point. Once I was done doing that, I'm just going to measure my armhole all the way, divide that by 2 plus 1, and I'm going to insert that. Like I said, please do well to search. If I don't, maybe if I don't remember to link this to this video, just do well to search how, search on my channel, the video of how to, draft your princess dart. Yeah, it's on my channel and it is very, like, it's so detailed, very detailed. All of this that I'm doing here is right there. I think my major concern for this top actually is the front area. Yeah, the front area. So here I'm going ahead to replace all of the allowance that I've taken on the bust area, that I've used for my dart. So I'm going ahead to replace all of that. Then there's something else I did around the hip area. Okay, there's something I did around the hip area. I came out by 1 extra inch. You can go out by even 2 extra inch, 3 extra inch. I think this depends on how much flay. You can see that top on the down part, it has like a bit of flay. You just flared out, you get away from the hip. So this depends on how much flare you want around that side. So I'm going ahead to go up by 1.5 inches. You can do two actually, but the length of my top is quite short, so I cannot use 2 inches. So I use 1.5, and I'm going down on the center by one because I really want to give, I want it to have a very smooth transition, like a smooth curve, because if I'm trying to connect the 1.5 right to my center, I'm not going to, I'm not going to have it really curved on the front area like I would like. So yeah, that's what I'm going ahead. I went up by on the side by 1.5. You can do 2 inches, it depends. And then on the center, I'm coming down by one and I'm connecting all of that. Now the next thing to do that is very vital on this is that I'm going to be using my tracing wheel. Yes, you will use your tracing wheel and trace out all of these things. You're going to trace them out. Do you understand? Just watch what I'm doing. You're going to trace all of it out so that you can transfer this pattern you have already drafted. You can transfer it to the other side of your paper. All right? Yeah. Let me say that again. Use your tracing wheel and trace out every single thing that you have on this pattern. Okay, trace out every single thing you have on this pattern, and then so that everything that you have here will be transferred to the plain path of your paper. Okay, so just trace out everything. I am done with my tracing here, so I'm opening that up. I don't think you guys are going to see this, but because it's a video, when if you are very familiar with a tracing wheel, you can see that the lines are usually very, very faint, almost faint. It is you, like I'm the one who is seeing what I have there. I'm not sure you're going to be able to see. So now I'm going to just use my necessary drafting tools and just mark out all of these lines. Or everything I've traced out, I'm just going to use this to make them visible on the other side of my pattern. I decided to use another color of pen just to create like a difference with the right and the left side. So this pattern now, as it is, the green part is going to be my right side, while the blue part is going to be my left side. Yes. So I'm going to be using a pen to just mark from my shoulder slope 3.5 inches. From my shoulder slope 3.5 inches. I'm using a pen, guys, because I don't want just in case I make any mistake, I can correct. Then on my bust point, I'm coming out 2 inches, and this one I'm doing it on the left side. Yes, the left side of my pattern. So I'm coming out on the bust point by 2 inches. Then from the top line, I'm marking 9 inches. I think that is enough, because if you look at that pattern, the Veekee James dress, you are going to see that place comes inward more. So you can decide to come inward more than that 9 inches, or even do less. That's your choice. This 3.5 you have on the other side from shoulder slope, you are still going to mark the same thing down on the left side of this pattern, and you will connect that into the 9 inches. So I'm going to go over this again. First, I'm going to reset this because I later looked at my camera and I saw that this was not filming at the point where I wanted it to film. It was filming on one side, so I had to move this. You can see, like I said, I'm using a pencil because I want a faint line, so that if I make a mistake, I can correct it. You can see what I have on the other side, 3.5. That is the same thing I have on this side, on the armhole. Remember, I'm marking this 3.5 from the shoulder slope, and I have 9 inches down, and then 2 inches from the left bust point. I'm marking it into the center right now. So now, after I've done that, I'm going to take this 2 inches straight down up until that 6 inches extension that I added for the extra effect, extra longer effect on the front of this top. So I'm going to just mark this all the way until down. Please, if you don't understand what I'm doing, I think you should just try to always back forward this so that you can see this. Like, you can go through it as many times as possible. So I'm also going to connect this my style line all the way. Everything I'm doing right now, I'm doing on the left side because that is where we want to extend. So I'm extending my style line, my dot lines. I extended them to that 6 inches. Okay. Now, once I was on doing that, I extended them to that 6 inches. You can see straight down, and then I extended them to the two style lines on the left side. Yes, two style lines on the left side. I extended them to that 6 inches. So next, I'm going to have to work with my curve so that I can just curve the side into my 2 inches straight line. Okay, just watch what I'm doing. But before I do that, I kind of went in a bit like 1.5 so that I'm going to have a very smooth transition. So from that point, you can see, I don't know why this got bright anyways, but from that 2 inches, I'm going to connect a curve to that point. Just follow what I'm doing. This is very easy. Once you've gotten the front of this, I don't think the back is a problem. You can use any type of back that you want. So I'm marking 1.5. This is nothing special. I just want to have a smooth transition because I noticed I tried to mark from the very end that it was not giving me a very smooth, beautiful curve that I would like. So I just had to go in like 1.5, and I used my ruler, my curved ruler, to just, can you see the line? Mark it all the way to that 2 inches. Now, you have to fold this over like you're about to sew it. Now, when you fold this over, you're going to find out that your line is now shorter on this other side. So you have to replace it. Some people call this throwing. I don't know. So you throw the fabric, your paper on the other line and just smoothen out that place so that when you're sewing, you're not going to have this other side shorter than the other side that is being joined to it. Do you understand? So you just have like an equal length. That's it. So if you notice, you're going to see it is now longer than the previous length that we had when we just drew this all the way. This is very important just so that you do not have a shortage around the side front of the left side. Okay, can you see? So I used my ruler and I connected everything together. Yeah. Then I will come on the right side and I'm just going to come down a little bit by 1 inch. You know, like if you look at the picture, you can be looking at the picture as I'm doing it. I think that will help you understand it better. I just came down by 1 inch and I just connected from the side to that point. Just to, if you look at the picture, you see that place is a little pointy, you get? So that's what I'm trying to create. Just that pointy effect, that's all. So I just connected it back into my dart. So on this side, I just went in was like I drew like a slanted line from my actual length to where the length of this side stops, and I cleaned off the other part. The only reason for this is so that after you are done sewing, the front part, like this longer part, does not keep coming under the short part. You know, it will, so that it can just stay on its own straight away. So now I'm going to use a marker to make these lines quite visible. Okay, so yeah. Remember to just slant your line from the original line into the 6. Just slant it a little bit, just a little, just so that it doesn't keep, when it keeps coming into the shorter part, kind of doesn't look nice anyways. That's why I just did this. Nothing special, okay? So I'm extending all of my lines with my marker so that you can see this clearer. Of course, you know that our line, our original line, is now the one that the one that we marked after we throw this, we threw this. Oh my god! So that's now our original line, not the previous one, right? So yeah. Oh my goodness! So I'm going to use the green marker to mark the one that is on the right side. This is just to differentiate them. Nothing really. Yeah. And that's it. That's it. There's nothing too special about this top. So I'm using my black marker now to mark out where we don't need all of these parts now. We don't need them at all. So that's why I'm marking them away. We do not need them. And I'm using the same marker to just indicate where you're supposed to cut out. Just in case you're confused on how to cut it out. Please and please endeavor to always, always blend out your bust point. Always blend it out, please. When I was cutting it, that was when I blended mine. Please always blend it out so that you don't have a pointy edge after you're done sewing your bust abi yeah, after you're done sewing your darts. So I'm using this to just like mark out. I'm creating like arrows on where we're supposed to just cut out. You get? So after I was on doing this, next I did was just get my scissors and I cut every single thing out. Then I'm labeling. I'm labeling at this point. So I said this one is center right. The other one is center. This one is center left, like the left center. Yeah, you might need to label this. This one is the side left or left side. However, you just will know which is which. You get. You just go ahead and do that. So that's it. Nothing. Like this is so simple, but this is the yoke. I'm actually surprised that some persons when I posted this top on my Facebook page, a lot of people were asking that I do a tutorial on it. That's why I did this. They were asking I do a tutorial on it. That's why I now made my own top, because I actually have made this for 2 customers already, and people were asking for the tutorial, so I had to make the top for myself for tutorial sake. Yeah. So I'm going ahead to just cut this out. Yeah. Hey. As I never create song for this my channel, I think I have to, I have to start to learn how I can create a song or find a way to create a song for my channel so that I don't keep singing for you guys. So I'm cutting this all out. Guys, if you've not subscribed to my channel now, me and you, no. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please do well to hit on that subscribe button. Also hit on the notification bell so that every time that I post a new video, YouTube is quickly going to notify you to come and watch my videos. Trust me, my videos are not something you want to miss. I share very easy tutorials, like easy ways that you can achieve things. Okay, you can check my channel and see the things we've done. Please also like, comment, share. You can also in the comment section just tell me what you might want me, a tutorial that you want me to go over. Do you get, like, something you've been meaning to learn and you probably do not know how to go about it? You can just share it in the comment section. When I see it, I'll try my best to just recreate it and post it as a YouTube tutorial so we can all learn together. I'm not saying that I know how to interpret all the styles, but the ones I know, the moment you ask me to do a tutorial on them, definitely I'm going to. But I mean, you're not going to know the ones I know how to do if you are not asking. So please endeavor to ask your girl for tutorials. You people are my people. So I'm trying to lay these. I've cut all of this out. So I'm trying to lay everything down so that you can see what we finally have. I'm sure that anybody who already sews, looking at this pattern, like if you're just handed this pattern, you will know what to do from here. It's been made easy. The major thing has already been done. So this is the back side. Guys, I fast forward this part. Had to fast forward it. It's on a fast track. And the reason is because for me, I just feel that the major thing about this top is the front side. You get, once you're able to do the front, which I have explained in details how to, I think the back is quite easy. There's no one way to this back. You can use your normal basic back. You can use with your normal darts, like basic darts. You can decide to use the shoulder type of dart, the one that you have to cut through, and then you have two pieces at the back, or the single one that you end up adding your darts to, like inserting your darts on. Do you get what I mean, right? Yeah. So there's no, and the back does not have any form of extension. It is just a basic back. So if you are also like, if you're also in doubt on how to draft this, like I said, I have a video on the channel. Where I shared in details how to draft a basic bodice, front and back. Go there, you will see it. It's there. And then again, I also have a video on the channel on how you can work on your zipper bulge. Yeah, I have a lot. That video has really hit quite a number. Yeah, I have a video on the channel on how you can work on your zipper bulge. So just in case you struggle with zipper bulge, I think that channel is a good place. That video, sorry, is a good place. Oh my God. That video is a good video for you to be able to learn this. So I'm going ahead to connect all my lines. And then I will still do my 1-inch extension on the hip area because, of course, I want that side to just, I like that. I think that's one of the most fascinating thing for me about this top. That slight flare by the side. Yeah, that slight flare is one of the most fascinating things for me for this. So I'm going up by 1.25 and I'm still coming down on the center by 1. Why? Because I just want a smooth transition, right? I want a smooth transition. And then I'm going to go ahead and work on my zipper area so that we can reduce any form of zipper bulge. Yeah, so that we can reduce any form of zipper bulge. But I have a detailed tutorial on just how to remove a zipper bulge. It's on the channel. My channel is it's hello. Don't mind me, don't mind me. I'm just laughing all through this. That's how I teach normally. That's how I teach my students. I just see these things as very easy. So I added an interfacing to thicken my fabric the more. I just added an interfacing on my fabric. I didn't add it to my lining. If you want to, this is just a tutorial. Like the ones I did for my two of my clients. I've done this top for 3 clients. I've done it for 3 clients, and another client, wanted to. So that's about like 4 times that I've done this top plus this one I'm doing. So this one is just tutorial sake. So you can go ahead and put your interfacing both on your material and on your lining, but I just put the interfacing on my material. Okay, so if you want an extra firmness, you can also use a fabric that is really thick, and you might not really need to stress yourself over adding any interfacing. It's not a must. Just do what you can. But the most important thing is to make sure that at the end of the day, we're both having the same result. You get that? Yeah. So I'm going ahead to cut everything. And I'm adding half inch. I didn't mention, sorry guys. I'm adding half inch on every part that I know that I was going to sew. Half inch. The only part I didn't add half inch was on the down part because of course I already added that to my length. And then I didn't add on the side because of course, you guys saw when I was replacing all the darts that I took out. So yeah. I don't need it on the side, but every other part, you can see I just added half inch all the way in all of them. And then on the back, I didn't add any lining. I didn't bother. I just used the facing. Yeah, I used the facing. That one it's quite easy for me. So I'm placing everything now together so you guys can see what it looks like. Can you see what it looks like? And I've also gone ahead to use my material to cut the black parts. Make sure you're labeling, please. Very important. If you're not labeling, You will just go and make mistake. Oh, label so that you know where it should be on the left, where it should be on the right, and everything. This is just a basic. The sleeve is just basic, a basic sleeve. Nothing too special about it. So this is my back and this is my facing, right? Then this one is that black. You know that black straight strap on the, yeah, the short part on the center. Yeah, the short part on the center. So this is that, the material. So this is 1.5 inches wide. Of course, you're going to put it on fold and iron it before you sew it onto it. And then the length is going to be the length of that part, that center right part. Yes, that point where, just look at the picture, that point where we have that black strap. So that the length is going to be that point. So I'm going to go ahead now and I will add my darts. I'm unpinning this so that I can just add my darts. So yeah, the zipper I'm going to use. So go ahead and just add your darts. So my darts usually I start them at my chest line and I end them 2 inches before my hem. And then the center point of my dart, of course, is going to be my half length, like my waistline. And then I'm going to do my bust span divided by 2 plus 1 inch for my zipper. Okay, so I'm going to just get a straight line there. I'll open up by 1/2 inch on 2 of the sides and I'll connect these to those points. Yeah, nothing too serious. So once I was done doing that, I went ahead to just sew this. I sewed everything together because, like I said, my major concern for this top is the front. So I just sewed my 2 darts and I went ahead to add the zipper and then added my facing, use my facing to finish off the neckline. And I even went ahead to iron it. You can even see, you can still see water sprinkled around it. So this is the front. So this is where I need you to pay prompt, like I need you to pay serious attention to. So I've unpinned it and I have placed it in the way that I am going to be sewing it, right? This is just the fabric. I've taken out this thing. So I'm going to sew this one side to side. Like I'm going to sew the darts first of all, right? After sewing the darts, then I am going to add that straight strip on the short center right side. That straight line on the center that connects it to the other center. So I will go and I will sew it onto it. After doing that, I will now sew the center together. Now there's a twist to the center. On the center part, you are going to sew, you're going to leave 1/2 inch on the upper part as you're sewing, and you will leave 4 inches on the down part that you're not going to sew. And you are measuring these things from the shorter part, not the longer part. Do you get the shorter part? So you're leaving 1/2 inch on the upper part and 4 inches on the down part. Then you sew every other side that is remaining for that center, part that joins the short and the long part together. The same thing that you have done for the material, like our material, you're going to do on the lining. But there's a way I used to do my own lining so that I don't get confused or maybe finish sewing. I don't know if it has happened to you before. You finish sewing and you find out that when you're trying to now sew the neckline, that your seam allowance is now outside. It's sort of, facing each other. So that's why I'm placing this like this. So I first had to place everything like this, and then I had to pick them out. And so this makes it a lot easier for me to work with. I'm sure that many of you who sew would have probably experienced this at some point where you just finished sewing, you thought you are finished, but especially for this kind of dresses or this kind of patterns where uh, maybe everything is not the same. Some parts look different or longer or shorter or whatever the case may be than the other parts. Do you get? Sometimes you might finish, you just be sewing, you finish sewing and you realize that your lining is now facing up instead of actually they're supposed to face each other. Okay, now leaving the smooth, so the right surface on the outside, you now have the opposite. So that's why I did what I did, so that I now went ahead to pin them down, carried it to my sewing machine, and I did the same thing that I did on this. Can you see? 1/2 inch. Okay, and then that 4 inches. So I did it on the lining. We're going to measure it right now so that you can see 4 inches. Okay, so that's the same thing I did for my line. Sorry guys, I don't know what's wrong with my throat. So I sewed and I still left until 4 inches. And I, like I said, I left half inch to that side. I went ahead to just open press everything, both the lining and fabric. Then here is my yoke. For the yoke, you also have to know which part is on which part. Okay, of course we know that that longer pointy part is around the left side. So I'm gonna ahead to turn this with the other part. Actually use the same. You can use your lining to actually do this yoke. I had a lot of black, so I just used the black to do both the lining and the original fabric for the yoke. So I've gone ahead to turn it, and I went ahead to even iron it down. So you can see I'm going to go and join this like so. Now this is where that half that you left on this part is important. Can you see that half that you did not sew? You left open. So you are going to sew. Can you see? So you're going to sew this black. So you're going to sew it from, the other end. Can you see? So from that, you place it from that, on that half. That pointy edge to start on the very end of that half. So you place it and you will sew from that half inch. Don't exceed it, because if you exceed it, you're not going to have a smooth finish, to the other end and then to this side. So let's see what we've done. Let's go and do it and then see what it looks like. So let's open the back now and see. You can already see that half inch is what is making that upper part. You can see how smooth and sleek that place is. No bulge, no squeeze, no nothing. It's just smooth. So you can see you will just sew and you will end it right on that half. Don't go over the half and don't stop before it. Just right at the point where it stops. Can you see? Just stop there. Same thing you do on the other side. So this very thing that you've done on the fabric, please go to your lining and do the same thing. So you will just do the same thing on your lining, right? You will do the same thing on your lining. So you place that like so, and then place your lining on it and sew it. The same thing, sew and stop on that just stop on where the half inch stopped for the straight line, and do the same thing for the other side. This is quite easy. So guys, please, if you've not subscribed to my channel at this point, I don't know what you're waiting for. Is it you don't want to see my next tutorial? Fine brother and sister. So please hit on the subscribe button, and please subscribe to my channel and hit on the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I post a new video. Like, share, comment. This helps me to do more and more. Thank you so much. If you've always been a subscriber, thank you so much for being here and sticking by. I love you. I appreciate you. Mwah. And if you're just joining us for the first time, please do well to become a part of the family. And how can you become a part of the family? By just sticking with us now and just subscribing. That's it. It's very simple. Click on the subscribe button. Click on the notification bell. Chicken. YouTube will notify you every time I post a new video. So that point that I had that whole joining coming together on that pointy part, it was I had a little bulge there, so I just used my scissors to do the needful. Just trim it down a little bit. Yeah, that's it. So yes, the down part, let's pay attention, please. So you can see the way that I placed it now. Now just watch me carefully. So you pick that up. And then you put the two of them together. Let's do it again. In case you did not get it the first time, why not? You must get it the second time. So you pick that up. Just watch. Open that like so. And then pick that and sew. Can you see? So now you are going to sew this and stop right on that 4 inches. Remember we left a 4 inches spacing on the down part. So you will sew it. You can already see it there. That's where you're stopping. Don't, like I always say, please don't go. If you go over it, you have a bulge. Don't go over it. And don't stop before it. Just right on that point. Do you understand? Let the two lines just meet each other. That's it. Like they want to shake hands, but they're not going over each other. They're not going to read, their hands will not really touch. Do you get? So you do that on this side, the short part, do that on the longer part. And then you go ahead and just sew it down. Continue from there and just sew it down so that you can just close up the lining and the fabric, like put them, join them together. So you can see what it looks like. We have actually joined this. So we don't dey finish this top. Oh. There's nothing is in this top. Like it's so easy. Very like just follow everything I've been saying here. It's super easy. Very easy, my sister. So easy. So yeah, you can see. I just finished that. You can see I stopped where this stopped. And then I now continued the line, like, continued it and sewed the lining and the fabric together on the down parts so that the lining and the fabric is joined. There's something I must mention here. Please, do not short your lining by anything. I'm saying this because I have had an experience. The very first one I made, I saw when I went and shot the lining, and at the end of the day, this thing refused to relax. It was, I don't even know what it was looking like. So I had to loosen the lining out, and I went ahead to use the pattern to cut it over again and, sew it again. So at this point, I've gone to iron everything. You can see I still have water on it. So I'm going to go ahead now I will join the two shoulders together. I'll join the two shoulders and then go ahead to also hem the down part of the back. Remember, I didn't add a lining. You can go ahead and add your lining if you are interested in using a lining, but I just used my facing for this. I used the facing for this. So I'm going ahead to fold that, like hem the down part. After I finish that, I will join the shoulder and then come back to add our shoulder pad. Yes, this is strictly optional. You can decide to add a shoulder pad or not. And for a shoulder pad, the very next video before this one is on how to create a shoulder pad, a DIY. Like, you don't need to stress yourself, even if you just started sewing today. It's a DIY tutorial on how you can create a shoulder pad that you can use for this. So please do well to see that video on the channel so you can see how you create this shoulder pad and attach it to your garment. Okay, so I'm trying to get the center point of this shoulder pad because I need to join this center to the center of my shoulder line, like that, my shoulder seam that is joining the front and the back on the shoulder area. So I need to get a straight line. Then the flat part will be facing the front part, and this side will be on the armhole side. The straight part will be on the armhole side, while the curved part is going to face the neckline. Please just do well to check the channel. You're going to see a video of how you can insert your shoulder pad. Like I said, this shoulder pad of a thing is totally optional. It's not a must. Nobody said you must have to put it. Like some of the ones I've made, I did not even put it because the clients were not interested in having any shoulder pad on theirs. So you go ahead and do whatever works for you. So here I'm trying to just I'm pinning the two sides together because I need to insert my measurement at this point. So here, your normal thing to do, just my every of my measurements, my circumference, like bust circumference divided by 2, I'll mark that out and I'll share whatever I have, like divide whatever I have into 2 and share them 2 equal parts on each of the sides. That's it. And then on the down part, I just used 1 inch because, no need to just add any other allowance since I wanted that small flare by the side. But if you're not interested in having that flare, you can just go ahead and use your exact accurate measurement to do this. So I'll go ahead and sew this down. Once I sew it down, I came back to trim out because I had, I added 2 inches allowance, but I do know that I was not going to make use of the entire 2 inches, but that's the way I like to sew. I rather will have more than have less. So I'm going ahead to trim it down to just 1 inch. So I'll just have 1 inch left. And then on the half length, there's a thing I like to do. I'll just, clip that point. I'll just clip it. That helps that very position to relax very well. So when you iron it, everything just points out as you want it to. It's not going to struggle. The shape of your dress is not going to struggle to just pop out on the side. You can see the way it's just popping out. And I have ironed it also. I went to iron these sides. So next is for me to just add my sleeve. Like I said, this sleeve is a basic sleeve, and then I did a basic long sleeve, and I just added an extra 3 inches, and from that original length I connected it like in a triangle form to the 3 inches that I added. That's it, nothing too serious. Then you can use a lining to, maybe you can use a facing to close your sleeve. You can use a bias. For me, I use a bias strip to close mine. And after I was done doing that, I just, you know, added the sleeve, inserted my measurement, and that's it. Here is the final outlook of our top. Here I haven't added a button to it. That is totally optional. You can decide to add your button. See how the flat is laying. So if you want a laid flat back like this, please, we have a video on the channel on how you can achieve you can remove any form of zipper bulge. You can see at this point I went ahead to sew in my buttons. The buttons I used for these are just, they're just those buttons that you use your that you create out of your fabric. So I used my black fabric to create it, using my button machine to just create a few buttons and attach to it. So decide however you want, and yeah, that's it. Thank you so much guys for watching my video. I'm going to see you guys in my next one. Bye. I love you.